of it either. You understand what I'm saying? The evidence does not say that. You know, I know maybe you went out to the grave and you was talking to somebody and you heard a voice, but it was not that dead person that you heard. I'm not saying you didn't hear a voice now, but I promise you it was not that dead person that you thought you was talking to. So now, you know, the man died, he give up the breath, it goes back to God, and the body go back to the dust. Let's go now to Ecclesiastes chapter 3, and we'll begin reading at verse 19. You know, we're going to deal with all this clear stuff first. Then we're going to deal with the stuff that's got a little gray around it. But until you understand the basics, then you're not going to understand the other things that you may read.
That's right.
But once you get the foundation, then you can understand the other stuff that might have a little gray around it. Let's start reading here at Ecclesiastes now, chapter 3. And we'll begin reading at verse 19, Ecclesiastes chapter 3. And pick it up at verse 19, 3 and 19. Go ahead and read.
For that which befalleth the sons of men befalleth beasts.
Go ahead.
Even one thing befalleth them. As the one dieth, so dieth the other.
You know, just like man died, a dog died too, right?
Yes, sir.
And if you go back and read in the creation, the dog or the animal, he was made from the dust of the ground. Sir. You know, he made man out of the dust of the ground. He made the animal out of the dust of the ground. Go ahead and read. He said the same thing that befalleth man befalleth the beast as well. Go ahead and read.
Yea, they have all one breath, so that a man have no preeminence above a beast.
So now he said, as one died, so dieth the other. You know, the dog died, man died. The dog was made out of the dust, man was made out of the dust. They all came from the same place, and guess what? They all going back to the same place. Go ahead and read on.
For all is vanity. All go unto one place.
Go ahead.
All are of the dust, and all turn to dust again.
Nobody ever tells you this. You understand what I'm saying? They act as though man go one place and the dog go somewhere else. All right. But all of them came out of the dust, and all of them will return to the dust. Sir. You lay a dog out there in the ground, he going to go back to the dust. Man, you lay him out there in the dust, he going to go back. Out there in the ground, he going to go back to the dust. All of them came from the dust, and all of them returned to the dust again. And that is what the Bible said, and that is what the evidence says as well, doesn't it? Everybody you ever know that died, I guarantee you they took them out there and they laid them in the ground, and they went back to the dust. Everybody that you ever know, you have never seen at any time anybody die and go floating off to heaven somewhere. You ain't never saw that. Even though when you go to the funeral, you looking at them people laying there in the box. You understand what I'm saying? But you're going to let the preacher tell you they gone on to glory. But you looking at them in the box.
Yes, sir.
The proof is in the box. You understand what I'm saying? That's what evidence is, isn't it? Right there in the box. Go there and look in the box and you see him. The only thing is missing is the breath of life.
Yes, sir.
If God put them breath of life back in there, he'll get up out the box.
That's right.
But you allow somebody to tell you that that good Christian woman that you know, she's gone on to glory now. No, she ain't. She is there in the box.
Yes, sir.
And when you take her out there and lay her in the ground, she is going back to the dust. That's what the one that created life and death, that's what he said. And if anybody know, I know he knows.
That's right.
Let's go look at it again. Let's go this time to Ecclesiastes chapter 12. And we're going to pick it up at verse 5. Ecclesiastes 12, and we'll pick it up at verse 5. Because some people read this to try to get you up in heaven once you die. Let's start reading, though, at verse 5. Ecclesiastes 12, and we'll pick it up at verse 5. 12 and 5. Okay, go ahead and read.
Also, when they shall be afraid of that which is high, and fear shall be in the way,
go ahead.
And the almond tree shall flourish, and the grasshopper shall be a burden,
go ahead.
And desire shall fail, because man goeth to his long home, and the mourners go about the streets.
They said man go up to his long home. And when they read this, you know what they said? They said, well, he gone on to glory now, but that ain't home.
No, sir.
Home is where you came from. Did he come from now? He didn't come from now, did he? He came from the dust of the ground,
Yes,
right?
sir.
And we just read that's where he go back to, right?
That's right.
So where's home? Home is back to the dust of the ground. That's home. And that is what happens all the time, isn't it?
Yes,
you know,
sir.
you take him out there, you put him in the ground, his home, and then the mourners go about the street,
Yes, sir.
right? Go ahead and read some more.
Verse 6.
Go ahead.
Or ever the silver cord be loosed,
Uh-huh.
or the golden bowl be broken,
Go ahead.
or the pitcher be broken at the fountain, or the wheel broken at the cistern.
Uh-huh.
Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was.
Now he says, then shall the dust return to the earth as it was. That is the body, isn't it? Go ahead and read on.
And the spirit shall return unto God who gave it.
And what spirit it is that's going to return to
Brother
God?
life, brother.
The spirit that Job said is in his nostrils, which is the breath.
Yes, sir.
God take away that breath, man die, he go back to the dust, right?
That's right.
So now the spirit returned to God that gave it, and the body returned to the dust. Let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 9 now, and we'll pick it up at verse 1. Ecclesiastes 9, and we'll begin reading at verse 1. 9 and 1. 9 and 1. Show you what the Lord said here by the mouth of Solomon. What happened to the dead, whether they be righteous or unrighteous, does not matter. You know, we're going to look at all the evidence. That's what we're going to look at today. All the little plain, simple evidence here that God got written in this book. Let's start reading here. Ecclesiastes 9. Began reading at verse 1. 9 and 1. Go ahead and read.
For all this I considered in my heart,
Uh-huh.
even to declare all this,
Uh-huh.
that the righteous and the wise and their works are in the hand of God. No man knoweth either love or hatred by all that is before him.
Uh-huh.
All things come alike to all.
Go ahead.
There is one event to the righteous and to the wicked.
Now he said all things come alike unto all. And he said this event, it is to the righteous and it is to the wicked as well. This one event, it happens to everybody. It doesn't matter how righteous you are or how wicked you are. This event happens to all. What is it? Go ahead and read on.
To the good and to the clean.
Now whether you're righteous or whether you're wicked or whether you're good or whether you clean, go ahead and read on.
And to the unclean.
Uh-huh.
To him that sacrificeth, and to him that sacrificeth not.
Go ahead.
As is the good, so is the sinner.
Now he said this is to the good as well as to the sinner. Go ahead and read.
And he that sweareth, as he that feareth an oath.
Now what is it? He gonna tell you. Go ahead and read.
This is an evil among all things that are done under the sun.
Now Solomon even called it evil among all things that are done under the sun. Because you got the righteous man. You know, he doing everything he can to walk in righteousness. Guess what? He gonna die.
Yes,
Then
sir.
you got this wicked guy out here do everything to come in his mind, and he gonna die too. That's why Solomon said this is evil under all the sun. But we gonna find out it's really not. We gonna find out what's the final state of the dead. Go ahead and read on.
That there is one event unto all.
Now he said this one event, it happens to everybody. Go ahead and read.
Yea, also the heart of the sons of men is full of evil,
Uh-huh.
and madness is in their heart while they live.
Go ahead.
And after that they go to the dead.
He said they live, and after that they go to the dead. Skip down to verse 10 now. Go ahead and read.
Whatsoever thy hand findeth to do, do it with thy might.
Now he said whatever your hand. This means within the boundaries of the word of God.
Yes, sir.
Don't think this means that you just go out there and start doing stuff. No, you stay within the boundaries of the word of God. Whatsoever your hand finds to do, do it with all of your might. Go ahead and read on.
For there is no work,
He said there ain't no work. Go ahead and read.
nor device,
Nor device.
nor
Read.
knowledge,
Nor knowledge. Uh-huh.
nor wisdom
Go ahead.
in the grave whither thou goest.
Now everybody goes to the grave then,
Yes, sir.
right? Whether you're righteous or whether you are wicked, you die and you go back to the... He didn't make no distinction there. He didn't say anything about, well, you know, if you are wicked, then you go to hell.
Yes, sir.
And if you are righteous, then you go to heaven. It put everybody in the
Yes,
grave,
sir.
didn't it? But that's not the end of it. But nevertheless, the dead, they live, then they go to the dead, then the body go back to the dust, and the spirit of the breath return to God that